Hello students, welcome to the next session of Innovation and Entrepreneurship in Biomedical Engineering. In this session, we will discuss about broadly innovation. So, first of all, we will discuss about what is innovation, why it is important. Then we will discuss what are the characteristics of an innovation. And then we will see goals and types of the innovation. And in the end, I'll summarize a few innovation case studies in biomedical engineering and especially in reference to Indian context. So let's discuss innovation. Innovation is the ability to apply creative solutions to those problems and opportunities in order to enhance people's life or to enrich society. So it means we have one dedicated term, that is we have to enrich the society or we have to enhance people's life. So it means whenever we come to some situation when we apply creative solutions for these either of these two, we perform some creative solutions for society's enrichment or to make people's life better, it means we are implementing some innovation. This is very broad definition and we will see with few case studies and examples why this broad definition is correct. Okay, before innovation, okay, now there is a very interesting comparison what students usually ask, that what is the difference between innovation and creativity. So if we uh, go towards the definition, we have already seen the definition of innovation, that it's simply a ability to apply creative solution. But in that case, what is creativity? So creativity is the ability to develop new ideas. So this is a new term here, that is new idea has been implemented for what purpose? To create new ways of looking at the same opportunity. Okay, so creativity is the ability to develop new ideas and to discover new ways of looking at the opportunities. Now here opportunities means new challenges we are getting across us, because these challenges are ultimately will become an opportunity for a particular entrepreneur. For example, when there was a demonetization, okay, demonetization is a very driving force for digital payments. Okay, so many of the people faced this kind of a situation when they were not able to transfer the money in a proper way because they were used to have cash payments only. But due to demonetization, for many people it was a challenge, but for few of them it was an opportunity. Like Paytm, they have taken it as an opportunity. Paytm, so they exploited this particular opportunity because now people were forced to use the digital payments only, because as per the government regulation, the previous existing currency notes of 500 and 1000 were no longer a legal entity. Okay, so it means some challenges will become an opportunity for few of entrepreneurs. Okay, let's discuss what are the major characteristics of innovation. So first one is there is an object or target which is being changed. So here the magic word is there must be a change. Okay, either it could be an object or in some service. Now what next? It can be a product. Once we are discussing about object or target, what is this? It could be a product, a process, an individual's lifestyle, or an organization's strategy, or a society culture, what it could be. Okay, so it means if something is being changed, what is being changed? Any of them: product, process, lifestyle, or strategy, or a culture. So innovation vary in extent or magnitude, that is degree to which one deviates from the past. So there is no kind of a numerical change minimal numerical change is required to be innovative. What we need is from the past there should be newness into that. Okay, so there is a variation in the magnitude of change whatever we have done. So far we are only discussing about change, that there is a change, but that change is able to give better product or a better process or a better lifestyle or a better strategy for a society culture, whatever it is. Then fourth one is it is closely related to the problem solving, since generation and implementation of ideas for change never transpire without difficulty. So it means there are few challenges while we are going to implement new ideas. And finally, a final characteristic is the impact of the change, the significance or the range of its effects. So these are the few characteristics of innovation. Whenever we will go to evaluate any innovation, we will evaluate on these three parameters. That is, what is being changed, what are the difficulties while implementing that particular change. We know this innovation is there, but how difficult that innovation is there to implement. And finally, then we try to evaluate its impact. Okay, like demonetization. Again, I am taking the same example, but now in this case, let's see from a different perspective. Another perspective is this innovation is in the government's way of governance. Okay, it's an innovation. Our Prime Minister have changed the way the governance is being done for financial activities. Yes, it may be difficult for people to implement it, to do digital transaction every time, to keep the record every time, but later on a larger time range we can see it may have more positive impacts than its negative impacts on a shorter time span we have seen. But yes, it has many some difficulties were definitely there, and people were very much worried with this particular change. But idea of this particular slide is that whenever there is innovation, we can evaluate it, and we are concerned with these three mainly characteristics which needs to be taken care of. Okay, the next one is the difference between innovation and invention. Good, because in biomedical engineering when we we will discuss mostly about inventions. We fairly discuss innovations also, but majorly broadly we go for inventions only, and we will see why we are discussing about inventions only in healthcare system, why not innovations every time. So first thing is it's a creation of new product, service or a process, whereas let's see what innovation says. It is the introduction of new product, service or a process into the marketplace. Okay, now invention is there, but when invention is taken into the market, then only it is called as innovation. May not be commercialized. See, you must have seen many inventions in medical field, but many of them are not being commercialized. I'll tell you various reasons behind that. But now we are able to easily able to understand and differentiate between invention and innovation, whereas innovations ultimately results into commercialization. Okay, so this is the major thing which you need to remember, that invention may not be commercialized. It is an invention. If it has been converted into a commercialization, then it become an innovation. Okay, invention, it can be autonomous or induced. Okay, usually this is induced due to some reason. Fourth factor in invention is it can be for economic or non-economic motive. Definitely invention most of the time is economic reasons only, but there are few examples, in fact many examples, where inventions have been made without any monetary benefits. Okay, whereas innovation always dealt with Economic motive, because we need a market. Whenever there is a market, whenever there is a business, definitely there is an economic motive. Fifth point in invention is usually restricted to R&D center. Yes, I believe I have heard many inventions even in Thapar institutes which so far have not been commercialized yet. So we will say that these are only inventions at this particular time. If they will convert it from R&D to some manufacturing or some industry, and then they find a marketplace, it will become an innovation. And definitely last line means that invention always precedes innovation. Okay, so this succeeds invention. So I hope now you people are very much clear about what is the difference between invention and innovation. So I expect that, I hope in fact each one of you at one point of his life must have some kind of invention in his mind. Okay, maybe later on you find out that yes, this product is already existing, but you may or may come, and I think you should start thinking in such a way that you should be an inventor after some time, so that you can convert your ideas into some commercialization, and finally what we are saying, that you become an innovator for an innovation rather than invention only. Okay. Okay, let's do some more brainstorming or discussion on innovation. And there are four types of innovation. First one is, which is purely invention. It describes as a creation of a new product, simply a new invention. Okay, this is again in first type of innovation, and we call it as pure form of innovation is an invention. But yes, there are few others also. What are those? Second one is, the second one is extension, that is expansion of a product or a service. Suppose there is a torch is being shown. Suppose some person have fitted one GPS system on this particular torch, and wherever we will move, or accelerometer, whenever we move the torch, that accelerometer will keep on recording how this torch is being moved, and that movement can be recorded, or any small value addition can be added into it. It can be a charging based torch, it may be a solar chargeable torch, that is you can keep it in a sunlight on a day, and in the night you can use it as a torch. So any value addition being made in the existing system is known as extension innovation. Third one is duplication, that is imitation. So it defines as a replication of an already existing product, service, or a process. Fourth one is synthesis. This is very interesting. The combination of existing concept and factor into a new formulation. That is, suppose there were two inventions or innovation already existing. Number A and B are the two different innovations, and one person combined them to make a newer one, and that is called synthesis in innovation. And believe me, in healthcare system, this is the most happening innovation after pure invention. Okay, yes, there are many of the examples where you see extension also, but mostly we recognize synthesis kind of innovation in biomedical engineering or healthcare situation. The reason is there are many innovations in pure engineering side, then many innovations in biological or pathological or other related life sciences areas, and the people who are common to them, that is those life sciences people which learn engineering at a later stage, or people like you who are learning biomedical engineering, that is they are learning both sides of this particular domain. They are better in a position to understand innovations in different fields, and they are in a better position to synthesize a newer innovation based upon pre-existing individual innovations. Okay, I hope my point is clear to you now. So these are the four different types of innovations. Okay, what are the goals of innovation? That why do we need innovation? The first and foremost point is to improving the quality of life, or a quality of a product, or a quality of a process, and yes, also to increase the production yield point, the final product, gross product, if we want to increase, and it also leads to finally increase in the profit. Second is creation of a new market. In FMGC domain, this thing happens in marketing strategy also. You must have seen many interesting advertisement videos where innovation is there to creating new market. People know that youngsters from age 18 to 22 are now very much comfortable or very much interested in pizza. Okay, to attract the kids, they started Happy Meal. Okay, they are giving some toys along with those particular kind of a bunch of meal. So they're attracting another group of kids and they are creating new market. Okay, so this could be another goal of innovation. Third one is extension of the product. Definitely they want to extend a product, as in most of the automobiles they keep on doing small innovations, just extending their previous product into the next version of for the market, so that they can extend the product to a newer model also. Sometimes they only change the grills, sometimes they change the lighting effects, or they are changing the front grill of a vehicle. So they are small changes, but they are extension of the product. In the fourth category, whenever we want to reduce the cost, there are many innovations when we are doing automation to reduce the labor cost or the material cost. We have many examples in innovation in this category. Then this fifth one is very interesting. Conformance to the regulations. Why it happens? You must have heard about Bharat Standard 6. Okay, what is this? This standard is actually for automobiles to adhere guidelines on given by Central Pollution Control Board. Okay, so whatever control on this pollution control board says, then vehicle manufacturer has to abide by those guidelines. So it means after some point of time, diesel vehicle are going to be obsolete from the roads, from the market. So it means now this conformance by the regulation is driving the vehicle manufacturers to go for the electric or hybrid vehicles. Okay, now here the innovation is not by virtue of their interest, but by virtue of the force by the government regulations. Okay, so there are different goals, what we have discussed in this slide. There are 5 kinds of different goals. I hope you understood these different 5 categories. Now we will discuss about the 4 types of innovations. The first one is product and process innovation. Okay, when we go for the first one, it means we are focusing only on the product and process. Second is open and closed innovation. Third is incremental and radical innovation. I'll discuss in more detail in later slides. Fourth one is modular and architectural innovation. So they all are differentiated by what is existing as a product and whether market is existing or not. Okay, if market is already existing and product is already existing, then we can say this is a product or process innovation only, and it is only an incremental. Okay, not a big change is being done in the innovation. Okay. Then if we go towards more on this side, that is newness in the product as well as newness in the market. So if market is already existing and you have given a new product, it means you have gone for a disruptive innovation. Okay. which it means you are going to change the existing market. Very good example of disruptive innovation is that when LED lamps are there, they simply eliminate all the CFL lamps. So it was a disruptive technology which eliminates all the CFL and old incandescent type of lamps from the market. Okay, so these are the four different types of innovation, and accordingly you can also rate if market is also new. That is a radical innovation. Yes, market is also new, that is market was not existing earlier, and product is also new. Like when Facebook came into the market, nothing, no product was similar to it. It was new into the market, as well as product was new and market is also new. Okay, so it was a radical innovation. Okay, this is another way of looking at types of innovation. I've told you that I'll explain in a different way these concepts. So closed and open model. Now what is closed model for innovation? Closed model innovation means when, let's say, a project is being start and concept development is there, and we do the implementation, whatever we have think about the product, we are not going to change that particular product. Okay, so we, whatever we have thought, we what from wherever we have started, we just implemented it and we introduce into the market. This is called closed model of innovation. Now what is open model? In open model, there is an overlapping between implementation stage and conceptual development stage. Okay, and we also call it a lean startup model, that go early into the market, contact your customers, learn what they want, and do concept development again and again. It means there is some overlapping in implementation and concept development. This particular time is implementing in both the categories. So it means we are not freezing our concept before implementing, but we keep on developing as per customers' need. So this is open model of innovation. Now architectural and modular. Architectural means when we drastically change the product scenario, like from Nokia to direct iPhone, where there is no keyboard, no keypad. Okay, that is architectural change, complete innovation in the product. Modular means when we go step by step, we go slowly to reach from this point to this point. We move stepwise from steam engine, we do some modifications, we do more modification, and finally we find out which is the best fuel. Then from diesel to petrol, petrol to hybrid. So it means we go step by step. So that is a modular innovation. Now coming towards the last slides of the session. These are the different levels of the innovation. First is individual level, then we have enterprise level, and finally national level. But you can see the arrow is downwards also. There are many government policies which supports innovation. Sometimes government announce some kind of incentives if entrepreneurs or scientists or engineers do some innovation, they will give them funding, they will support them. So this enforces or motivate enterprises, organization to do innovations in their product. And finally enterprises motivate their individual employees to do the individual innovations. So we have different levels of innovation. So invention and innovation, again I'm going to formalize what we have learned in a single line, that invention is a creation of something new, and finally it results in the new knowledge only. But whenever it comes to the innovation, we are transforming ideas into a resourceful product or a useful service. So these are the two things which comes from the innovation. Either we got a product, better product, or a better service, or a better process, rather than simply a knowledge. When we are able to implement it, this is an innovation. So Finally, I am trying to conclude what we have learned, that we have learned something about innovation. What is innovation? Its definition, then types of innovation, then characteristics of innovation, and then we learn what are the goals, why do we need to do innovation, and then we find out what are the types and levels of innovation. So I hope you enjoyed this particular session. If you have any queries, you can even email me at my email id mdsingh@thapar.edu.